Okay. Trying a new view today. Hopefully that'll work.
Leslie. She's new to yoga, and she asked me would I recommend a studio and
Thank you.
magic.
Thank you. That was so sweet. All right, test. I think we're good. It's good to meet you. All right, which one here is my So, test. Yeah? Can you hear me? Yeah? Can you guys hear me in the back?
I don't.
Yeah, good. We're going to get music on in just a moment. Okay. All right, I'm going to get the music up a little more volume. It looks like we are ready to go. Let's see who we have at home. Hey, Laura. All right, so let's get on our feet on this beautiful, fantastic, amazing morning. What a blessing, this weather, huh? Pretty nice. Yes, there is a little breeze, there is a little sun. All right, so we're on our feet. For those of you in the back that say you can hear me, but you're not doing it, right? Yeah, all right, so we're on our feet. And we're gonna step up to the top of the mat, bring the feet together. Go ahead and stand tall in your space. Find your breath. Good morning. I love this moment. I just kind of look around. I see all of the faces. As I see you, it's like I am welcoming you into the space. And so our yoga begins now. Right? The moment that we step up with our feet together and we start to find our breath. And so it feels to me like some of you are just waiting for cues, right? Yeah. But the yoga is already begun, right? It's not about what's next. It's about what's happening right now. Yeah. So continue to feel the texture of the mat under your feet. Continue to feel that cool breeze on your skin. Do everything you can inside to pull yourself into this beautiful, precious moment. I'm going to keep the phone over here so I can play with the volume. Thank you. All right. So we're going to add some movement to the breath. Go ahead and reach your arms way up high over your head. And on the exhale, bring the arms back down by your sides. So simple. Let's just do that again. Inhale, arms reach. As you exhale, bring the arms back down. That's it. Last time. Inhale. Just moving and breathing. And then the arms come back down. This time when you breathe in, the arms reach, but will stay up there. Hook the thumbs together. Let's go to the right side. Pull on the thumbs, spread through the fingers, stretch up high and long through the side waist. And then inhale, come on up, switch your thumbs. Let's go over to the other side. That's it. And then return to the center. Let your arms come down. Starting really simple. Again, inhale, arms reaching up. This time, please bring the arms down and behind you. Let's clasp the hands together. Inhale, lift the chest. Open up the collarbones. And then root down into the feet. Let's hinge at the hips and start to fold forward slowly. The arms pull a little bit away from your back. The head drops low. And we're breathing. Now go ahead and just bend the right knee a little bit. Good morning, Shabbat Shalom. We're going to bend the right knee and then twist and look up toward the left shoulder. Pull the left arm back, creating a little twist in the upper body. So left leg is straight, right leg is bent, and we're twisting open. Yeah, and then look down, and we'll switch, right? So bend the left knee, turn the chest open to the right side, pulling that right arm back just a little, looking toward the shoulder. And then eyes down, go ahead, release your arms down. And let's soften the knees, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, and start to roll yourself up slowly. Pulling the belly up and in, feeling like the muscles are organizing the bones. Yep. Beautiful job, everyone. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. You guys are in a different place. Lift halfway on the inhale, and then go to plank pose. We're going to stay in our plank for just a moment. Let's press the hands down and in just a little bit. Take your gaze a little bit forward. And then we're going to hinge, so we warm up the shoulders and hips and hamstrings a little bit. Lift your hips and feel yourself moving into downward facing dog. Go ahead. Lift the hips high. Exhale all of your air here, and then as you inhale, come forward into plank again. That's it. Good morning. And then go ahead, lift the hips. Back into down dog. Last time, forward into plank. Lots of strength here. And then into downward facing dog. In case the arms or the wrists are starting to fatigue, just slowly walk your hands back to your feet. Take your hands to the back of the mat, walking slowly, belly in the whole time. And then soften the knees and roll up one more time like that rag doll. Lift and roll your shoulders back. How we doing? You okay? Inhale, arms reach again, and then exhale, forward fold, just breathing and moving. Lift halfway on the inhale, look forward, and then walk it out to plank. From this plank, we're going to lower down onto the belly, so bend the elbows. You can put your knees down, or just lay down gently onto the belly, and then inhale for cobra. We're going to do 3 of them. Exhale, release, the chest lowers. And then inhale again, lift the chest, squeeze the elbows back, lengthen your legs. Exhale, let it go, come on down. The whole time the elbows are bent. Inhale, cobra. That's it. Now lift your hands off the mat. You'll see how much you're depending on your arms. I don't want you to use your arms that much. I want you to use your back muscles. So press the hips into the ground, start to lift the chest a little more. Yes, because you can. Squeeze the elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades back, lift through the crown of your head. Now, if you put your hands back down, you can enhance your work. Don't overpower. Go ahead, use your arms a little bit. See where you can take it. Yep. And then exhale, let it go. Beautiful. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog again. So we lift the hips, we let the head down low, and we breathe. Spread your fingers. Moving mindfully, right? And then we're going to look at our hands and start to walk our feet up to the top of the mat. So our feet come together at the top of the mat, lift halfway, inhale, and then fold on the exhale. Good, bend your knees, sink your hips. We're going to come into chair pose, Utkatasana. Yep. Let's see, spread at home. Claudia's here, and Diana's here, and Deborah. Right while you're in chair pose, I'm checking out the Facebook feed. Yep, that's it. Just like to say hello to my friends at home. Let's sit a little lower right there. Get a little bit of heat in the legs. Now push through both feet and come up slow. Take a little back bend here. Hips forward, chest up. And then bring your hands right to the heart. Okay, inhale, arms reach again. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to start to get in a flow. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Let's go to plank and lower on the exhalation. Breathing in one time in cobra. Remember what you learned. Exhale, downward facing dog. And take a few breaths here. So we're going to let the practice build. We're using our handprints well. We're using our arms well. Lift your hips. Press your legs back. Good. Take one more breath here. And then on the exhale, just look forward. Let's walk our feet up to the top of the mat. Lift and lengthen. Inhale. And then fold deeply as you exhale. On the in-breath, we rise all the way up to standing. And then pull the hands to heart center. Keep going. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway. Hold there. We're going to soften our knees and touch our fingers down onto the mat. And then take a big lunge back with your right foot. Right foot lunges to the back of the mat. We'll keep the right hand grounded and take a twist open to the left side. Just all of the bigger muscles, all of the bigger joints. We're just touching into all of them. We're going to root a little bit more through that right hand so you can access the left chest a little more. Turn it open. And then the eyes come down, the hand comes down. Go ahead, step back into plank, hold. We're going to roll onto our left side facing right for Vashisthasana. Roll to the left, face the right. Yep, I'm messing with you. Right arm up, lift the hips high, breathing. Come on, breathing. And then just gracefully put the hand down. Lower yourself down, nice and slow. Inhale for cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Nicely done. Take a breath. Let's all make a little sound, a little sigh. Just start to release any tension that may be bubbling up. And then we'll look at our hands and start to walk our feet forward. Go ahead, lift halfway. Take a breath. And then exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sink your hips, chair pose. One breath only, and then come right up to standing. Push through the feet. Let's rise. And then pull the hands to the heart. Really nice. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway on the inhale, hold. Soften your knees, touch the mat with your fingers, and then left leg lunges back. Simple twist to the right side. Root down through the left hand. See if you can get both feet to feel really purposeful. They're grounding into the mat. The legs are strong. The left knee is lifting. The left hip is lifting away from the mat. That's it. Feel that the movement is happening deep in the core, not just on the outer surface. Turn the rib cage. Turn the belly button. Yeah. And then the eyes come down, the hand comes down. We'll step into plank and hold. This time we roll onto that right hand. So we roll to the right facing left, and then lift that left arm high. Nice and easy. Take a breath, and then plant your hand back onto the mat. Lower yourself down, nice and slow. Inhale right there, cobra or upward facing dog. I'm starting to see some of that. And then go right back into downward facing dog. Okay. 2 more breaths. Hips high, head low. Feeling alive in the arms and the legs. When you're ready, you're going to look forward and start to make that journey to the top of the mat. Do it with some grace. Walk the feet up, then lift halfway. Inhale. Fold deeply. Exhale. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Take chair pose. Okay. Slowly come on up. Stretch high, and then pull the hands right to the heart. Good. Inhale, arms reach. exhale, forward fold. We're going to start moving into our standing poses. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Let's go to plank pose. From plank, I want you to really think about how you're making this transition. Take it nice and slow. Bend the elbows, push the floor away from you. See if you can feel some resistance. Slow, 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 all the way down onto the belly. You got it. Take it down slow. Use your muscles. Inhale for cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. All right foot steps up. Stay on the left toes. That is high crescent lunge. We'll come on up facing forward. Looks good. Arms reach high up over the head. Now push the feet down and out a little. Draw the legs into the hip sockets. I want to see a little more integration in the base of the pose. Pull the belly into the spine and then fold halfway. Yeah. Reach the arms forward. Dig in a little bit with the back foot. Biceps are near the ears. We're reaching forward. Nicely done. Now super slow. Touch your fingers down on the mat. Don't get attached. And then come all the way back up. Practice that transition. All the way back up. All the way up. Lean back. Take it back. Get away from that front leg. Yes, and then take it all the way down. Hands down. Step back lightly. Lower slowly. That was interesting, huh? You didn't realize how many muscles you use to do that. We just take it for granted and we fly up, right? Move through your vinyasa to downward facing dog. And then left foot steps up, stay on the right toes. Yeah, so today we're gonna pay attention to some of the more subtle things. The arms come up overhead. And then we're gonna build that foundation. Feet kind of dig a little bit into the mat. The legs draw into the body. You can feel the push and the pull. Yeah. And then we'll start to fold halfway. See if you can hold it. This is core work. Belly button into the spine. Dig in a little extra with that right foot behind you as you reach your arms forward. Now, just like playfully, curiously, can you touch your fingertips down to the mat? Barely touch and then rise all the way back up. Yes, so much better. I love that. Take a breath, lean back just a little, and then go ahead and take a flow. Hands down, step back, and lower, please. Cobra on the inhale, downward facing dog on the exhale. All right, we'll turn it up a little. Right foot steps up, left foot turns flat. It's called Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Again, we come up facing forward, grounding the back foot. This looks really good. Yep, the back heel is flat. You're looking a little serious to me right now. All right, so I want you to see if you can, and this is a micro movement. It's not going to feel like a big deal, but can you pull your right hip back and your left hip forward a little bit? Good. Now, come halfway forward. That's it. Now, it's not the arms that come down, it's the body that comes down. So the biceps are still near the ears. Lift the arms. Yeah, there we go. Now that you're leaning forward, can you make that adjustment? Right hip back, left hip forward. That's really good. Stay right there. Hold from the core, but sweep your arms behind your back and lift them higher than your body. So we want to feel the upper back work. Feel the chest soaring forward, the gaze out. Yes. Now, clasp your hands together behind you, take a breath, and on the exhale, fold your head, bow humbly. We're going to keep trying to make that adjustment of right hip back, left hip forward, because somehow it gets slippery in those hips, right? Somehow we start to lose that. Think about it, right hip back, left hip forward. It's not just about head down, it's about squaring those hips and feeling the foundation of the pose. Now root well into your feet and start to lift your head. Come on up slowly. Oh, that was beautiful. Inhale, arms reach, finish that. And then exhale, take your flow. Hands down, step back lightly, lower. You can start making modifications on that vinyasa. You can start adding a chaturanga, or you can skip everything and go right to down dog, right? There's everything in between. Knees down or not, right? Take care of yourself. Left foot steps up, right foot turns flat, Warrior 1. Yep. And so you can see in this initial phase of the pose, we first come in and we're in the hardest part for the psoas, right? So to get the left hip back and the right hip forward is a little bit harder here, yeah? Right? So when we take that lean forward, go ahead, start to move your chest and your head forward. Then from there, ground the back foot, reach through the arms, but now see if you can make that adjustment here. Left hip back, right hip forward. Think about it. Use your feet to get your hips to move. Now we're going to hold there because it takes some core, right? You're going to hold the belly and try not to lean on the left leg. Sweep your arms behind you. They go higher than your back. And as you reach back through your fingers, lift the collarbones. We're looking out in front. So no clasp yet, right? Just fierce triceps, muscles hugging bones. Now bend that left knee, pull the left hip back, the right hip forward, then clasp your hands together. Let's take one breath and use the exhale to fold humbly down. Bow your head. My favorite focal point here is at the back foot. And then you probably slipped out of the hip, so let's try one more time. Left hip back, right hip forward. It makes it a little easier each time. And then we have to root down, so we come up strong, slowly. Lift your head. Start to sweep your arms up high. Take a breath, and then take a flow. Hands down, step back, and lower. We're really moving beautifully today, mindfully. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Yeah. Okay. Let's take one last breath here, and then we'll look forward and walk our feet right up to the top of the mat. Lift halfway on the inhale, fold deeply on the exhale. One more time, bend your knees, sink your hips. Let's do chair. And then push through the feet, come all the way up. And then hands right to the heart. We're gonna just soften the knees and take the left foot and take a step back, probably only about 3 feet back. So a little bit shorter stance, not quite like a warrior. You go a little bit bigger than that, maybe. Depends on how long your legs are, right? But just not quite as long as your normal one. Good. Can we make that same little adjustment? Square. Now this time, when we're doing that squaring, it's not just rooting down through the feet and pulling the right hip back, the left hip forward. I actually want you to squeeze the hips down and in. Can you feel that? There's muscles on the outside that we're going to hug in, and then we're going to start to fold forward. If the belly fell out, pull it back in. It's always a good idea, right? Right? And now, just check and see. Did the front leg soften? If you need to because you have knee issues, of course you can soften the front knee. We never want to lock out the knee joint. But if we can, we use the quadriceps to create stability around the knee and to open up deeper into the hamstring. So let's see if we can straighten the right leg. Pull the right hip back, the left hip forward. Yeah, right there. Now, can you take both arms forward, biceps to the ears? Yeah, serious. Yeah. Push your legs back as you reach your arms forward. Yeah, I'm not joking today. Take one more breath. Bring your hands back to your hips as you exhale, and then push down to rise up nice and slow. Soften your right knee, your hamstring will be happy, and then step your feet together. Good. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway on the in-breath. Fold again on the out-breath. And then bend both knees, sink your hips. Give me your best chair pose. Now in chair pose, sometimes we get heavy in the toes. I want you to sit back into your heels. Don't be afraid to stick that booty out. Sit back, sit back, sit back. Even more. Bend the knees, take the hips back. It takes some strength to do that. And then push through both feet, come all the way up. Hands come to the heart center. From here, we soften the knees and the right leg takes a step back. It's a little bit shorter stance. Feet are kind of facing forward. The back foot might turn out slightly. And then hands move to the hips. So this is where the work is, right? It's those micro movements. It's your ability to pay attention right? Sometimes here, the right hip kind of pulls open and we start turning a little to the side. So I want you to face forward, like right into the front of your mat, as if to say, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm paying attention, right? Let's start to fold halfway. Create the integrations. There's little nuances. Big toes push down, quadriceps lift up. Let's see if we can hold with a flat back. Pull the belly in, pull the chest out, hands are on the hips. Maybe your elbows lift a little, maybe your shoulder blades squeeze. Really nice. Now, can you keep that? Can you hold that and then take the biceps to the ears? Yeah, no joke. Where do you feel that? Anyone? Where do you feel that? Yeah. Yep. Up the front leg in the back, right? Yeah. Okay. Hands go back to the hips. Slowly rise. Come to standing. Very nice. Soften your right knee, or your left knee, sorry, and step your feet together. Good. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Yep, lift halfway on the inhale, just moving through that. Fold on the exhale. And then even better, chair pose. Bend your knees, sink your hips. The best one. This is the last one we're going to do in the series. Now, see if you can do it with your feet together. Some of you have the feet apart. We're going to take the arms down and behind us. Remember those fierce triceps. Now, as the arms start to pull back, lift your heels. So the pose tips forward just a little. Strong legs. We've got really good foundation here. It's the beginning of the year. We want to actually feel solid ground. So we're high up on the toes. Go for it. Go a little higher. Lift those heels. Bend into the toes. Now, the best part. Sink the heels back down. Sweep the arms back up. And come all the way up to standing. Oh, hands come to the heart. Beautiful job. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. We'll move out of the legs. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Let's go to plank and lower on the exhalation. Inhale for cobra. Yep. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feels good to rinse that through. And then go ahead and walk your hands to the back of the mat. So we were talking a lot about, while we were working those hamstrings, about the stabilizers, about the outer hips. Can you put your fingertips on the floor just slightly in front of your feet, please? And then look up a little. So legs are straight, fingertips are on the ground, and we're looking forward. I want you to really feel your fingers on the floor. And then go ahead and just lift your right leg behind you. Doesn't have to go too high. Let's see what happens to the rest of the pose. Can you keep the right leg straight? And can you flex the foot? Yeah, so not so high stakes. Yeah, I want you to keep the hips level. So draw that down for me. Yeah, there you go. A little discipline in the hips, right? That's it. That's it. And then no drama. Go ahead, put your foot down. Switch to the other side. Keep the weight even in both of your hands. Keep your legs straight. Flex through your heel. It's not about how high it goes. If you go too high, the hip lifts. I only want the leg to lift. Think about it. And then put your foot down. Good. Bend your knees and roll up slowly. Take your time. Squeeze inside. Lift and roll the shoulders back. Just get the head to let all the blood back out of the head. And then take another breath. Reach your arms. You guys ready to play? Exhale, forward fold. Okay, same idea, fingertips on the floor. Now, keep the weight even in your hands. Can you take the right leg out to the right? Can you take the right leg out to the right? Flex it. Now it's sneaky, it's trying to go behind you. Can you pull it forward? There it is. There's something special in there, right? That's it. Keep looking forward. Weight even on your hands. Think about that. Some of you are leaning heavy to one side. And then go ahead, put your foot down. Say it out loud. And then switch to the other side. A little flex on the foot. Push out through your heel. Lift up your toes. That's it. You got it. If it's sneaking behind you, pull it forward. You don't have to go high to make this effective. Go ahead, put your foot back down. Have a sense of humor, for God's sakes, right? And roll up slowly. Come on. I do it. I'll do it. Right? I'll do it. Yeah. It's okay. You gotta feel all of the parts, right? You gotta feel, you don't have to clap with me. Inhale, arms reach. I'm just saying, I will never ask you to do anything I don't do myself. I promise. Forward fold. Now we're gonna walk forward into plank, but don't get attached to it because we're gonna lower the knees and turn it into tabletop. So knees under hips. Yeah, right arm forward, left leg back. Right arm forward, left leg back. Now see if you can lift the leg without lifting the hip behind you. So the outer left hip is dropping, but the left leg is rising and extending back behind you. That's it. Lift the front arm just a little bit more. There you go. You can feel that little bit of work happening in the back of the shoulder and in the left glute. Take one more breath, pick it up just a touch, and then put it down slowly. Let's just switch sides. Yeah. So simple work. Just because it's simple doesn't make it easy, but let's do it well. Right? Conscious movement. If the belly fell out, again, this is one of those moments where you pull it back in. You pull the front ribs in, and then lift just a touch more. Go ahead and put it down. If you need to, just sit back in child's pose for one breath, just curling the tailbone down toward the heels. And then we'll return to our tabletop. So we did a little bit of side plank earlier. We're gonna roll onto the side body, kind of like we did in side plank, but you'll be on your right hand and your right knee, and you'll face the left. So this time you get to keep the knee down. Roll onto your right hand and your right knee, lift your left arm to the sky, and the left leg goes back to the back of the mat. Yep, you can keep that foot on the ground for a moment. I want you to actually plant that left foot on the back of the mat. The whole sole of the foot down. Now, press into that pinky toe edge of that foot, and then take your bicep over your ear. Reach like you mean it. The palm faces down, and then just check in. Did your tailbone go out? Did your rib cage go out? See if you can streamline that. All right, arm comes up, and then lift the leg up. Left leg rises. You start to feel that work on the outer hip. Yeah, flex your foot, push out through the heel, start picking that leg up a little bit higher. The leg is straight. Again, bicep over the ear. Yeah, play. Breathe. Okay, from here, let's see if we can bend the left knee, reach back with the left hand, make a bind. Not so easy. See if you can take the head back and open the heart space a little bit. The foot kicks into the hand gives resistance. Beautiful. And then we'll slowly release. Come back to tabletop. If you need a moment, go ahead and touch child's pose. One breath only. Yeah. And then return to your tabletop. Let's play with the other side. Yeah, sometimes there's like a rock under your knee or some weird part of the concrete. So just like if you have to move around, right, you'll find it. Roll onto your left side, left knee, left hand, right arm reaches up high. We're gonna keep that right foot grounded. Press through the lateral border of the foot, and then take the bicep over the ear. This is that moment where you can feel that streamline action. Tailbone down, front ribs in. So you really want to press the whole foot down, not just the toe. So put the whole foot down so that you're pressing with this. Push. Right? You feel a push and a pull, right? There's like this rope that we pull. And if you draw the tailbone down, you might even get even more length in your spine. So tailbone down, and then extend and reach like you mean it. From here, reach. Okay, arm goes up. Let's play with the leg. Right leg rises. Float it in the air. Yeah, paying attention to the subtleties. Tailbone down, ribs in, balance. Try the bicep over the ear. Yep. We're breathing. Yep. You got it. The alignment's beautiful. Now we're going to bend the knee. Reach back with the right hand. See if you can make the bind. If you can't, it's no big deal. Just play with what you got. If you're making the bind, we kick back into the hand gives resistance. See if you can open the collarbones and draw the head back slightly. Yeah, you got it. And then with some grace, let it go. Return to tabletop and then touch your child's pose. Okay. From child's pose, let's tuck our toes and start walking our hands back toward our knees. Then we're going to get onto the soles of our feet and start to lift up into a forward fold. So just tuck your toes under, start straightening your legs. Yeah, right there, feet are hip distance apart. All right, so similar to what we were doing before, fingertips on the ground. Now I know you're thinking, oh no. Yeah, no, this is going to be great. This is going to be so great, right? So you have your fingertips on the ground. You're going to start lifting that right leg out to the side. I know you can do it. Right leg goes out to the side. Start to bring the foot a little more forward. Now left arm reaches out to the left. You've got this. Breathe right there. Reach out through the sole of your foot, through the fingertips. And then hand down, foot down. Let's try the other side. You're doing so much better than you thought you would, right? That's it. Reach the arm out, reach the leg out. You've got this. It's opposite hand and foot. It's left leg and right arm. Left leg, right arm. Yep. And then we bring it down. Soften your knees and roll up nice and slow. Okay. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Let's walk it out into plank and let's rinse that through, taking a vinyasa. Lower down to the belly. On the inhale, come into cobra. On the exhale, downward facing dog. How are we doing? We okay? Yeah? All right. Right foot steps up, stay on your left toes. Remember high crescent lunge. Root down into your feet, use the foundation well, gracefully coming up into your high crescent lunge. And then please bring your hands to heart center. We're going to trust the right leg, and we're going to lean into it so we can float the left leg up behind us. All right, it's a strong leg day. Keep your hands in prayer. Bend your right knee so you come down a little lower. Ooh, sink down into there. Nice work. And then straighten it. Come on up, bring your feet together. Yeah, that was so good. Giving you a rest. And then we're going back in. So when you're ready, soften your knees a little bit. Start to lift your left leg behind you. Come back into same pose. No, leg is in the air. Left leg in the air. Find your balance. One more time. Bend the right knee. Get low. Now, go ahead and touch your fingertips down to the ground, which means you got to get a little lower. Bend the right knee. Bend the right knee. Look forward. It's not a standing split. Bend the right knee. Come on, get low. Now tuck your left knee behind your right knee. Squeeze them into each other. Right there. Look forward. Integrate the legs. Now lift your hands into prayer. We're going to hold right there for 2 more breaths. You've got this. That left foot is off the ground. They're squeezing into each other. Good. Now release your hands and float your left leg all the way up, as high to the sky as you want. Draw the head down toward the shin for standing split. Stretch through the legs. Reach through your toes. I've lost a few of you. Yeah. Okay. Let's look forward, bend both knees, and then plant the left foot back on the ground. Roll up like a rag doll if you would, please. And as you do, have an attitude adjustment moment. As you stand back into your feet and you stand tall, inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. We'll take a vinyasa, we'll play with that on the other side, and then we'll go to nice time, okay? Go to plank and lower. You can skip the vinyasa or you can use it to rinse that through. We rinse our attitude, we rinse the tension from the muscles, we come back to the rhythm of our breath. Yeah. Okay. Left foot step, stay on the right toes. It's high crescent lunge. Remember the transitions, right? Holding in from the core, moving with grace. Hands come to the heart. We are left foot forward. We're going to come into balance. Trust your left leg. Bring the right one behind you. Now we're just playing with this idea that we could bend our left knee. The standing leg could bend so the whole pose comes down a little bit lower. That's it. And then press to standing, feet together. Take a little break. Let your body remember that. We just made an impression, right? Then we go back in and we build on it. Okay, same idea. Go ahead and take the right leg back. Find your balance. Left knee starts to bend. We get down low. Then release your fingertips to the floor. That will help with the balance. With both knees bent now, tuck the right knee behind the left knee. Work them into each other. Look forward. And then bring your hands back into prayer. Beautifully done here. Now when you let your hands down, you'll extend that right leg all the way up into the sky. Draw the head down low for standing split. Try not to check out of your work here. Deepen your breath. And then we soften both knees. Bring that right foot down. Roll yourself up like a rag doll. Okay. All right, we okay? Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold, find the grace. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Go to plank and lower on the exhalation. How are we doing at home? Oh, we got Carmen here and Julie. Hi, Eric. So good. Good to have you all with me. All right, so we flow through this vinyasa. We find our way to downward facing dog. Okay. Can't decide if I want to give you one more. Yeah, right foot steps up. Take a little step up with your left foot. So we go back to that shorter stance, right? Right foot stepped all the way up, left foot took a little step up, and then come up to pyramid pose. Hands are going to be on the hips. Remember to press down through the big toes and lift up through the quadriceps. All right, fold halfway. Front leg is straight. There's no lunge here. Straight legs and only halfway. Good. Now, can you press the legs back? Can we square off a little bit? Right? So remember that feeling of right hip back, left hip forward, building foundation. Can you take the left bicep to the ear? Reach forward. So it's only one arm this time. And now we're going to place that left hand onto the right shin and come into a spinal twist. This is one of my favorite poses of all time. It is complex, so don't take it lightly. Root through the feet, build foundation, start twisting. Twisting open to the right side. You want to make sure that the hips stay square and that your head stays centered. So a lot of you bring your head over to the right. If your head is anywhere near the right edge of your mat, pull it back. Pull it back toward the center, and then maybe the right arm goes high. Yep, go ahead, twist a little. So good, everyone. You're amazing. Eyes go down, hands go down. Let's go ahead and step left foot forward, and then step right foot back. Bring your hands onto your hips and rise up slowly. Hands on the hips, we want to make sure those legs are straight. Both legs are straight, hips are a little square. Left hip back, right hip forward, all of the things that we've been learning. How are those hamstrings holding up? Yeah? Fold halfway. Yeah, we're going to come to a flat back, so the gaze is a little forward. The chest plate is a little bit forward. Right bicep to the ear. Feel the right foot ground so that you can find the balanced action here. Yeah, everybody looks really good here. Let's take the right hand to the left shin and then begin twisting. Don't let your head go to the left. So good. So if your head is moving toward the left edge of the mat, bring it back to the center and know that the rotation, open your feet a little wider. No, this way, wide. No, not longer, wide. Yes, now try. Go ahead, twist open. Left arm to the sky. Here comes the sun. Twist a little deeper. And then when you're ready, eyes down, hands down. Soften the left knee, step your right foot forward. Beautiful job. Soften both knees. Let's come up nice and slow. Pull in the belly. Squeeze your hamstrings. We don't have to always stretch them. Squeeze them. Good. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Let your fingertips come down to the floor and then start bending your knees into a little toe squat at the top of the mat. The heels are going to lift. Bend your knees a little bit deeper. Lift your heels and then look forward. See if you can take your hands into prayer. Now make a little squeeze on the back of the leg. Imagine the calf and the hamstring squeezing into each other just a little bit. Now if you have knee issues, you're going to be careful with this one. And I'm going to just invite you to take your hands a little bit behind you and then flatten your feet and come down into a seated position. Try to do that gracefully and then cross your ankles. And here we are in a seated position. Hold your head high, lift your heart space up. And if it feels okay, feel that cool breeze on your skin, close your eyes and just let yourself be in this moment. I'm going to call something into your attention. It is a yoga concept that we contemplate and play with all the time. It's called ahimsa. And it means non-harming, right? And it's kind of what we're learning on the mat. It's like to do all of these hard things, but to do them softer. To listen to the negative chatter inside of us and maybe change the dialogue. It's an incredible thing to learn about doing no harm to yourself. It's an even more important thing to be able to apply that out in the world. And on this particular weekend, we are honoring someone who believed in nonviolence, right? It's MLK weekend, right? And so we lift our hearts, we lift our heads, and we embody for a moment this idea, this yogic principle that's been practiced in humanity for thousands and thousands of years. And this weekend we honor someone who lived their life by that. And how ironically, their life was ended with a tremendous act of violence, right? There's shadow in the light. We can't think that there's rainbows and butterflies everywhere, like, oh, we're going to do no harm. Each of us exists in some way. Just having a footprint on this earth means that we are taking up space. We walk down the street, we could be killing an ant. Who knows? But what if we applied, maybe for the rest of this weekend through Monday, we tried to call into our awareness and our consciousness the ways in which we can live doing a little less harm to ourselves, to others. It's one of the very first teachings. Before we turn and look to truth or anything else or moderation, we have to learn this one principle. Let's all take a clearing breath. One time in, a little sigh out the mouth. And then we're going to bring our knees into our bellies. We're going to squeeze them in tight. All right, pull the knees in, cross your ankles and lift your feet off the mat. Might even help to flex your feet a little. Bend your knees so the feet are close to you. We're not going to extend the legs today. But we are going to extend the arms. As you reach your arms forward, can you squeeze your legs in even more? I like crossing the ankles and pulling everything in, tight, tight, tight. Can you do it and still breathe? Can you do it with a good attitude? Yeah, I think you're doing pretty amazing. How does that feel? Strong, right? Strong in the hip flexor, in the abdominal wall. Pulling it even tighter. Reach forward, squeeze the knees in, the chest to the knees. Good, now just open it up a little bit. Lean back, take the knees out just a little, and then squeeze it back in. Surprise. Go ahead, do it again. Open it up, maybe a little bit longer this time, and then squeeze it back in. So good. We're going to do it one more time. Extend it out a little bit further, a little bit longer, and then squeeze it back in. All right, on this one, you're going to lay it back down. Lay it all the way down. Open up slowly. Try not to flop. Yeah. Slowly, slowly let your body lengthen out onto the mat. Yeah, feel your breath. Okay. Right knee into the belly. Give it a little squeeze. And then switch. Left knee into the belly. Give it a little squeeze. Lengthen the other one long, right? And both knees come in. You're going to open the knees kind of wide and try to keep the tailbone flat. So open the knees wide, keep the tailbone down. Just let the inseams of your legs get some length here. And then start straightening the legs out. You can still hold around the knees. Legs out wide like a V. Legs out wide like a V. You can grab the toes if you want to, or just hold the knees. Tailbone down. There you go. That's it. We didn't really get a chance to open wide in the practice, so just see if you can just take a moment here. And then start bending the right knee. Bend it kind of deep toward the floor, toward the ground. And then lean into that right knee a little. Roll onto your lower back on the right side. Onto the knee or the foot. And then roll back to center, straighten the right leg. So holding something, you gotta hold something. Hold your legs, your ankles, yep. And then start bending the left knee. Rock a little to the left so the knee goes toward the floor. And keep straightening out of that right leg, yep. Feel different than the other side? Yeah, you wanna hold them. You're welcome. And then soften the right knee, come back to center. Let's place your feet right onto the mat. Feet are together, knees drop open. Let's soften a little. Yeah. Feet together, knees open. Find that breath. Supta Baddha Konasana. Arm position can be up overhead or hands resting on the body. All right. Start to slow it down just a little bit. Then we'll start to bring those knees back up to the center. Pick your feet up off of the mat and then roll your legs over to the right side. Giving yourself some room to be soft, right? A little spinal twist to the right, a little softer through the belly, a really beautiful rotation through the spine. Just move in and breathe in. Concepts are the same, even when we slow it down. Every pose is just an opportunity to be your teacher, to be like a mirror that we hold up to ourselves. You get to watch yourself doing this thing, this asana, this pose. What do you learn? What do you see? Let's bring it back to the center and up and over to the other side. Our legs and hips go left. We turn our chest out to the right, and then just soften. This idea of non-harm. It's hard. I don't know if we can actually exist on the earth and be harmless. We are consuming resources, right? But we could hold ourselves in a way that creates the least amount of harm, right? Buy better products, recycle, be thoughtful in our words, our thoughts, our deeds. Go ahead and bring it around back to center. Go ahead and pull your knees in one last time. Ready, just start to release your legs all the way down. Slide the legs out, let your arms release down by your sides. Shavasana might be one of those moments where we are harmless. The cycle of the breath beneficial to the world around us, not taking anything that we aren't willing to give back. Look for the spaces in between your breaths so the mind gets quiet. Begin your awakening with the breath. Just kindly and gently begin to move, stretch. Eventually you pull yourself together and come up and sit. We'll sit together for a moment. And hello to Janine and Lori and Ellen. Every time I peek, there's new games on there. And they're not here in South Florida. Some of them are, but some are traveling, some live elsewhere. It's so nice that this feed every Saturday keeps our community together. And if you ever have to miss class or you ever move away and you find yourself not able to be here, we stream on my Facebook page every weekend. And I have people literally all over the globe that tune in at different times. Sometimes they just grab it from YouTube because they can't get here because the time change, the time difference. But it is such an amazing thing that us gathering here in this park for almost, I think, 12 years now has turned into a global community of people doing yoga for free all over the planet. It's just amazing. And we are the heart of it right here. We're at the core. And it just branches out from there. It's just amazing to me. So thank you all for tuning in today. Thank you all for being here, for being part of the energy that is strong enough to hold that expansion, right? Let's bring our hands together at the heart. You know what your homework is, right? For the next few days at least. A little less harm, a little more kind. It starts inside you. It starts with the inner dialogue. It starts with the way you approach your poses. It's the way you communicate to people. Let's just shut that down. It's the way we communicate to people. It's even the way we look at people. We can be violent without any kind of words, right? So let's see if our presence enough can bring a little bit more love into the world. If we can move forward with purpose and do it in a way that creates the least amount of harm and the most amount of good. I can't think of anything more yogic than that, and something that we could really embrace in these next few days. You guys with me? Yeah? A little buy-in, yeah? All right, we'll seal that with the beautiful and sacred sound of Om. Take a deep breath in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace, peace, perfect peace. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May the actions of my life and all of our lives somehow contribute to that happiness and that freedom for all, so that we may all live in a world where there is actually peace. Peace, perfect peace. Namaste. That is the mantra for Ahimsa. That is what we say every week. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful Saturday. Enjoy this weather. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy each other. Go out into the community. Spread a little bit of softness, a little bit of generosity. If you're interested in sound bath and yin yoga this afternoon at the studio, we're having one with Kristen. You can register at yogajourney.com. And tomorrow afternoon from 1 to 4 is my vision board workshop. So if you've never done that with me, we're doing that about 12 years too. I'm going to create a flow that is designed to sort of like break through some of the old stories and the old thinking patterns and open ourselves up to more possibility. And then I ordered some food from Pura Vida, and we're going to sit down and have some nourishing food. And then we start cutting and pasting. Cutting, headlines, pictures, captions. And you just start cutting whatever you seem to be attracted to, and in the end you have this pile of things, and you start pasting it onto a board, and it will tell you a story about where you're at and what you want, what you desire, what the possibilities are, what direction you want to go with this life, with this year. And so if you're interested in coming and doing that with me tomorrow afternoon at the studio, it's at 1 o'clock. It's almost full. I think I maybe have like 4 or 5 spots left. I guess I could push it out, but I need to know before so I could buy materials for you, right? I need to have the poster boards and scissors and glue and all of the things. So it's going to be kindergarten at Yoga Journey tomorrow. Come and join me. And of course, I always have passes up here. I have a few magnets, and if you have not signed in, I need the clipboards back. Thank you so much to Jonathan and to Mark for helping this morning. Again, Andy's in Orlando, but he will be back next week. If you're listening, honey, we missed you today. And to everybody at home, thank you again. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. You're welcome. One more thing, teacher training is coming up in March. I forgot about that. This is a really interesting training this year. I'm combining my 300-hour mentoring and leadership program with the 200-hour training, so that as you're at the advanced level training, you're also going to be mentoring somebody who's coming in on the entry level. So we're going to integrate the two trainings and have mentorship going on, me mentoring the advanced teachers and then the advanced teachers mentoring the new teachers. I think it's going to be a fantastic program. We're starting in March. If you're curious about teacher training, come talk to me about it or inquire on my website. And that's it. Happy Saturday. Hi.
I would like to go tomorrow, but with my husband. Okay. He is like, we would have to sit through the floor, or maybe we can have some new pauses for him or something.
Yeah, I mean, he could come in and just try to do whatever he wants, or he can sit on the couch and read a magazine or something, and then come in when we just do the vision board part.
Okay, all right. I would like him to do something.
Okay, he can try. I mean, I'm totally open to him trying.
Okay, okay, great.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I just wanted to say thank you. My first time here. So
Oh,
thank you very much.
thank you. What's your name?
Jean.
Jean. It's good to meet you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good to see you.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi.
Guess
I had
what?
both of you today practicing.
Guess why she did that?
You on the mat.
Because it's my birthday today, and I said, you know what I want for my birthday? Do yoga with Bobby. She did. Not one of my cousins. You know. You did it. It's the very first time I asked you.
Then you know that that's her dream. Okay.
I think she doesn't like because she's not strong and she, it's hard.
But it all comes.
It's hard. That's why I think.
Signing off.